Good evening. We're still here at the Lincoln Day dinner, and we're still interviewing guests, and it's been a very exciting evening. And right now we're going to interview Kirsten Lombard, who has been up at the protest meetings. She's been up there for 3 days and actually was there today at the rally. So Kirsten, we're delighted to have you here with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You've been actually right in the midst of the whole process that's going on up there. I understand that you were up there Thursday trying to get in to see Senator Grothman, and you were actually accosted.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Certainly. Well, let me just say that I've been up at the Capitol Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, and I've watched it get progressively uglier every day. And Thursday, just before I arrived, around 11:30, the Capitol went into lockdown because of the mob. The Capitol Police asked that legislators lock their doors as a precautionary measure. So I arrived at Senator Grothman's office to run an errand, and the door was already locked. I'd been given a phone number to call so that I could get in, but I couldn't access it right away. And while I was trying to find the number and access it, several union people accosted me in front of Senator Grothman's door and were quite vociferous, very unpleasant in my face, calling me anti-union, and it was very unpleasant. It took me a while to find the number. Finally, somebody did come to let me in. About 10 minutes after I got in the door, actually, it was quite clear that it was probably junior high or high school students from the tenor of their voices, came to the outside of Senator Grothman's door and started banging on it very hard, pounding on the glass, kicking the door, making it very clear that they were very angry. And then they started chanting very loudly and angrily. It was quite frightening to hear children being pulled into a labor dispute and used in that way to harass senators.
So while you were there, you were alone and waiting for the senator. Mm-hmm. And were you very frightened because of this?
I would not say frightened. I would say nervous. It was very clear that these people were very interested in intimidating people. And I don't frighten very easily. Uh-huh. What I do know is that people who normally would be very polite, nice people, when they get into a mob, get emboldened to do things that they would not normally say or do. And you never know when it's that kind of an atmosphere what could happen. So
this is a personal experience that happened to you. Did you see this going on also around the crowd? Was this just a general atmosphere that was going on?
I would say it was a general atmosphere. I did not personally see it happening in other places, but having talked to the staffers in Senator Grothman's office, they were getting reports from other staffers who were quite threatened as they were trying to go from office to office between levels at the Capitol. We also know that there are at least 2 Republican senators who union people literally blocked into their offices as they were trying to go up to the Senate floor to vote on Thursday.
This is just such unacceptable behavior.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's absolutely out of hand and out of control. What about the state troopers? Were they involved at all in any of this?
There were a ton of police of various sorts around the Capitol. I believe I saw university police. I'm pretty sure I know I saw Capitol police. There were other varieties of police around, lots of police. However, there were also reports, I didn't see it firsthand, but there were reports from staffers that as some staffers were being accosted by union people on the stairs, there were police standing by who did not lift a finger to intervene.
Now, when you say accosted, what are you talking? Pushed, shoved?
Yes, being physically threatened. I mean, not necessarily harmed, but pushed around. Yes,
physically pushed around, and forcibly.
Yeah, a lot of physically intimidating behavior is what I would say.
Which is completely I mean, if a policeman were there, you would think that he would have interfered and stopped that behavior.
You would think.
But there were no policemen around?
Well, there were policemen.
But they weren't doing anything?
I would not say that all policemen would not have intervened, but this particular, I think the report was that there were 2 university police standing by, and that they did nothing to interfere.
To help you?
It wasn't me, but a staffer. And actually, it was a staffer for, I think I heard that it was a staffer for a Democrat, actually, who was being intimidated.
And they did nothing to help and nothing to stop this?
No, that's the report.
That is really unbelievable, unacceptable behavior for a crowd like that, because it only takes a little bit more nudging and then a person is injured or falling down the stairs or something like that's going on.
Right.
So
let me personally say that I've had a lot of interaction with the Capitol Police, and I have never had anything but positive interaction with the Capitol Police. So I certainly have heard no reports at all of Capitol Police not doing just a superb job.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Were you able to get into the senator's office?
Yes, I was, after I finally found the phone number and somebody knew I was standing outside the door.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Now, were you there the day the legislature was in session?
Yeah, that was Thursday. I believe it was Thursday that they tried to take the vote. Yes.
And you were there.
I was there, and we got reports that the Democrat senators had fled.
Yes, and did not come back.
Correct.
Right, okay. And you were there Saturday?
Yes, I was there today for the rally. That was very encouraging. I personally live on the Isthmus, about a half a mile from the Capitol. All week long, I've been able to hear the chanting of the Union people from my home.
Oh my gosh!
And it was a great encouragement to me to see literally thousands of people from across the state show up today to support Governor Walker, to support fiscal sanity in the form of the adjustment bill, the budget adjustment bill.
So how did today, Saturday, compare to yesterday, Friday?
I was not up there Friday, so I cannot actually say how it compared. What I did see today is a vast increase in numbers of people over what I saw on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Yes.
So Saturday compared to Thursday, how was it?
Just an immense increase, immense. We were easily outnumbered. As many people as there were on our side, there were many more on the Union side. We were, I think, by the east entrance of the Capitol, filling up that walkway coming up to the east entrance. There were people literally parading around the Capitol Square. Almost, it was like Mecca. It was literally like Mecca with the Capitol in the center and just throngs of people, like in a continuous loop around the Capitol, marching over and over again around the Capitol.
Unbelievable.
And lining the streets on the opposite side.
So did you, of course, Jesse Jackson was there. Did you see any sign of him? Or
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
He did not. He was not to be seen today.
I think, well, what they, I don't know about how this all went down, but I do know that we received forwards of messages that went out from the unions saying that they knew that we were having the rally today, and they definitely wanted to outnumber us. And they had sandwiched rallies on either side of us. So there was a rally scheduled for 10:30 and another scheduled for 4:30, I believe.
I see.
They wanted to make very, very sure that their presence was stronger than ours.
Oh, I see. So they made sure that they had theirs when you weren't there.
Well, they were there yes, I suppose, but they were definitely there while we were there. They definitely wanted to outnumber us while we were there.
So what was the influence, would you say, of the DNC in that crowd?
I don't know about the DNC. What I can say is that it's very clear that the unions are very, very active in sending people. That's we definitely have evidence at this point. I mean, I don't personally, but it's been uncovered that Organizing for America is strongly involved in shipping people here for this. Yes.
Okay, so there's busloads of people coming in from out of state.
Yes, yes. They're coming from lots of different places from what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the union, what is the effect of the union that is going on right now?
In what sense?
In the sense of them taking over and controlling and affecting and psychologically brainwashing what's going on in the crowd, trying to take over.
Well, I think what you are seeing increasingly is mob mentality. And again, that's where you see people who normally on their own would be probably very nice, normal, friendly people, but when you get them into a mob, they get emboldened in ways that they would not normally be, and things can get very, very ugly. I think one of the most disturbing things that I've seen this week is the use of children in this labor dispute. I actually, the group that I organize here in Dane County is part of a larger coalition in the state, and on behalf of that coalition, I sent out a press release on Friday calling attention to the fact that the teachers and the teachers' unions were using children in this labor dispute in quite a despicable way. They are lying to children, they're lying to parents in order to secure their participation in this labor dispute. We talked to several children over the course of the 3 days that I was up there, and it became very plain that these children were very confused and completely misled about why they were even there.
So children are actually at the rally.
Yes.
At
Oh,
the rally
yes.
And protesting.
Yes, high school and younger. Yes, absolutely.
And when they're interviewed, they don't know why they're being used there?
No. Let me give you an example. When I was in Senator Grothman's office on Thursday, there was a little girl, probably, I would guess she was probably 11, 12 years old, who came up to Senator Grothman's window and held up a pre-printed union sign to the window. I'm sure she had no idea whose office it even was. She'd just been told to, do this thing with the sign. And one of my colleagues, one of my grassroots colleagues who was also in the office with me, had the presence of mind to open up Senator Grothman's window and begin talking to this little girl. And as he spoke to her, he was very friendly with her. He said, "So this must be a very, exciting, interesting day for you." And she smiled and said, "Yes, this is very fun." And he said, "So it must be great to have a day off of school." And she said, "Oh, yes, and I was here all day yesterday, too."
Oh, my gosh.
And when he said, "Well, did your teacher tell you, why you're here, or why you needed to come?" She said, "Oh, yes, she said that they were going to, take money away from the school and that they were going to cut programs, and none of this is on the table."
Oh my gosh.
None of this is on the table. But this is why this little girl thinks she's there. And finally, my colleague said, "Well, I bet this is a really interesting day for you. You go and have fun and be safe out there." And she smiled and skipped off, and but had no idea, I'm sure, that she was talking to people who really were the enemy, according to the people who had brought her there. But it's just absolutely irresponsible that these children are being lied to.
Total
and
brainwashing.
Brainwashing. I don't know any other indoctrination. I don't know any. Yeah, there's no other way to talk about it.
It has nothing to do with the issue.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, you are just a jewel of information, and we appreciate you being here, Kirsten, and thank you for your insight. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Please keep up your good work. Thank you, and you once again get to make the decision on who's right. And so thank you for watching.